So, a quarterback that I kind of have, not necessarily under the radar, because it seems like he's been picking up a lot of traction coming into this year, is Zach Wilson. He's a second-year quarterback coming out of BYU, and he plays for the New York Jets. He's the starter there. Last season, he went for basically 2,300 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Mind you, this was in a system that was just in its first year, rookie quarterback, and, not necessarily all the targets in the world to make shit happen. Mm-hmm. I think Zach Wilson this year is going to be taking a tremendous step up, not only in his own progression, but if you look at the offense and what they've done to kind of build around him, I think that it's starting to become an offense that you have to start thinking about. They have now a wide receiver that they took in the first round who is going to be an instant contributor. They have a wide receiver that they took last year in the second with Elijah Moore, who I think is going to be an instant contributor as well. So when you think about Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore with Zach Wilson, it kind of seems like that's a great matchup. Like, both those guys can do different things.
Yeah.
And with Zach Wilson's ability to, I don't know if he has, the strongest arm in the league, but I think he has one of the most quick releases. And when you're trying to get it to some of those quick-ass guys, that's what really matters, is at least getting it to them.
Yeah.
And he is able to bomb the ball as well. So, if Garrett Wilson is able to get the separation that he's used to at Ohio State, that could be an instant fucking matchup, and I am excited. What do you think about Zach Wilson, Jah?
I guess I'm not as high as you are on Zach Wilson. He's somebody who was quarterback 30 last year.
Yeah.
My man played in 13 of 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
He threw for about 2,300 yards. He had 9 passing touchdowns and 11 interceptions. He ran for about 180 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, even if my man triples his numbers, let's say he triples his touchdowns from 9 to 27.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he goes from 2,300 yards last year to 3,500 yards this year.
Yep.
He finished with about 160 fantasy points in, single quarterback, regular standard fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
If you look at even last year, quarterback 10 was Jalen Hurts, who had 330. Zach Wilson finished last year at 160, and even if he doubled what he did last year as a quarterback, he's still kind of outside of that top 10 range, right?
Right.
So they added Garrett Wilson, they added Breece Hall, who I think is going to take way more rushing carries than what they did last year. Michael Carter's still there, so he's going to get his run out of the backfield, and Elijah Moore, CJ Uzoma, just a bunch of guys are there. They have Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios. They have all the weapons in the world, but even if I'm taking Zach Wilson for what I think his ceiling could be,
mm-hmm.
it's still within that QB10, QB16 range.
Interesting.
He's a high-end QB2, but I don't see him being somebody that you can start pretty regularly on your team. Even as a mobile, quarterback last year, he only had about 184 rushing yards in 13 games.
Gotcha.
So my man is getting maybe 10 yards a game rushing on average.
Well, you're not wrong. When you look at the stats and everything, he didn't have a great rookie year. But we're not necessarily shitting on Jalen Hurts what he did his rookie year. And we also aren't necessarily putting into the amount of attempts that were between the two, at least last year when he was QB9 and Zach Wilson was QB30. There's about 100 or so attempts that were missing to kind of even the mark. So you can do with that as you will. And
That's fair. Yeah, you're missing 2 to 3 games of evidence.
So what I'm saying is,
probably 4 actually.
He's young. He's getting into the system. Like I said, this is his second year, so he's actually gonna have some feet under him now. He's gonna know what's going on. I just think that there's something that people are kind of, like you had said before, when there's a community involved, and when people think that this guy could actually pop off because of his natural abilities and what people are, or what the Jets had built around him, I kind of believe it.
He has a lot of weapons.
He's starting to look like it, man. And when people are thinking about Zach Wilson, I think you could be looking at him as around a top 15 into this next year. What are your thoughts?
Between 15 and 20.
Sounds good. Let us know below, folks. Appreciate y'all.
Cool. My name's Jah.
I'm Dugo.
Peace.